In this video, let's try to do some hands-on on pre-authorization and post-authorization annotations in order to achieve method level security. So for the same, first, I just wanted to tell you, we have my loans path, which can be accessed by user who has a role root. But in our application, we don't have any role with the name root. We have only user and admin. So for that reason, this path is always not accessible for our logged in user. So let's try to test that once. I'm going to my UI application, entered login credentials. I'm able to log in. Now I'm clicking loans, and you can see I'm not getting any response with the reason forbidden, like 403 error. Now what I will do is I will make this loans path to be accessible by any authenticated user by replacing this hash any role with authenticated. So with this change, after I restarted my application, I should be able to access the loans page as well. Let our application start. Once our application is started, we can go to our UI login page, enter credentials. Now inside our application, if you click on loans, you will get the response from the backend, because though I don't have role root, since now I open this path my loans to any authenticated user, I'm able to access it now. So now for this loans page, let's try to put some method level security by using pre-authorize and post-authorize. For that, first I have to go to my configuration class. On top of this configuration class, I have to keep an annotation enable global method security by passing 3 parameters. Pre-post enable will help me to enable the annotations of pre-authorize and post-authorize. Secure enable is for @secured, and JSR 250 enable is for @roles allowed. But now we'll use only pre-authorize and post-authorize, because in the same manner we can also apply secured and roles allowed. But secured and role allowed has limitations that they can't leverage Spring expression language just like pre-authorize and post-authorize. So due to that reason, I'm giving a demo using pre-authorize and post-authorize. So now I have enabled the global method security by using this annotation. And if you can observe, we have not made any changes inside our pom.xml, because this comes from the Spring Security base package itself, and you don't have to import any other dependencies. Now I'll go to the method loan repository. Again, you can keep this method level security on any layer, like repository layer, controller layer, or service layer. So in this scenario, I'm just keeping on my repository layer by using pre-authorize annotation. And here, since we have roles defined inside our application but not the authorities, I'm using has role, and I will mention if someone has root role, then they should be able to invoke this method. Otherwise, they should not be able to invoke it. So we have made these changes. Let's try to restart our application and log out from the UI. If I try to log in again, previously we are able to see the loans page because there is no restrictions on the roles. But now I have kept a method level security using pre-authorize annotation. So I'm trying to log in. I'm clicking 12345 as a password. I'm able to log in into the application. Now if I click on loans tab, I'll not get any response with the same error 403. So as you can see now, we made our application to have method level security instead of path level security, especially for the loans page. So in this way, we can apply some method level security using pre-authorization. Now let's try to do the same using post-authorization annotation. For that, I'll just replace the pre with post, but instead of here, I will just keep it the controller layer so that you can understand in any layer we can keep this. I'll go to loans controller, and I'm keeping on top of this method, if someone has role root, then only they can able to get the results from this method. Otherwise they will not get the results, but still the method will be executed. I can show you that by keeping a breakpoint. Now I will restart my application. I'm entering my credentials again. I'm logged in. I'm clicking on loans. You can see a breakpoint has been stopped, and there'll be a call will go to database, and I'm able to get the loans details from the database, but the same details will not be passed to the UI because the user does not have root role. As you can see, though my method is executed, the user did not receive the results because he is not authorized to receive the results from the method due to the authorization rules that we defined using post-authorize annotation. Due to that, he will get an error 403 which indicates forbidden. So in this way, we can also apply post-authorization rules, but please do remember your logic defined inside the method will be executed, and in the case of even exception is thrown by the security framework, the database transactions will not be rolled back, which you have to always consider while using post-authorize annotation. And at the same time, if you have requirement similar to checking the authorities of the user, then you can always rely on has role, has authority, has any authority. But if you have a complex requirement where you want to validate based upon the data received or based upon the data that is being sent to the caller, in all such scenarios, we can always use has permissions inside your annotation, pre-authorize and post-authorize. And this has permission by default will use Spring expression language. And if you have some scenarios where even Spring expression language you're not able to achieve and you want to write your own custom code, in such scenarios you have to implement permission evaluator inside your custom class that you are writing. So once you implement this interface, there are two methods has permission with the same name, overloaded methods, which you can override. And you can see here, these methods will get the authentication object of the current user logged in, and what is the return type object that your method is returning along with the permission that you want to apply. So if you can write all your custom code inside this method, your Spring framework will use this permission evaluator to consider your custom requirements, which is a complex scenario. But ideally, most of your authorities requirements, authorization requirements can be achieved using pre-authorize and post-authorize. I hope you understand what we have done in this lecture. In the next video, let's try to understand how to apply authorization rules using filtering. Thank you and see you in the next lecture. Bye.